Hello, so this video is all about Clary Sage. Now, in my work as a doula and as a homeopath working with a lot of women with pregnancy and birth, this is a very, very popular one. So it's well known and widely used as a tonic for the uterus, if you like, to aid with contractions, to help get strong and steady and regular contractions. So if you feel like they may have stalled a little bit and you had a rest and you had something to eat and something to drink and you just want to get things going again, this can be a useful oil to have on hand. Oh, it's very, very calming. It is quite like sage, like the herb sage that we cook with, but it's more like a blend of lavender and the sort of cooking sage. That's kind of how it smells. It's very calming. Like lavender, but kind of opening, and it is obviously related to the sage, part of the sage family, but it gives us a sense of clarity and calmness and a certain opening sensation, whether that's emotionally, mentally, and certainly physically. That's the whole idea, is to help the uterus and everything open up to allow the birth process to happen. So a lot of people feel that they need to have warnings placed on it and not to use it during early pregnancy or if you don't want the birth to get going. Other women just adore it and use it all the way through pregnancy constantly. So it's a kind of personal choice, but I do feel that for some people, using it, holding it off using it until the birth could be a more sensible approach, because midwives that I know of, like Stephanie Fritz, who work with doTERRA oils, they feel that it could unnecessarily irritate the uterus and the womb if you're using it when it's not ready to open up and give birth. So save it for when you're ready, basically, is my advice. But having said that, everybody's individual and you have to listen to your body and follow what feels right for you. But Clary Sage is just a gorgeous oil to have on hand, great to diffuse. Use it aromatically, use it on your pulse points, use it in a massage on your back, on your lower belly, the back of your neck. Dilute it with a carrier oil. Don't, if you're having a home birth with a pool or any kind of water birth, don't put essential oils in the water. Generally, pools are plastic lined and they can react with the plastic. They could be very irritating to your genitalia, to the baby when it comes out. And once it's in the water, you can't take it out of the water unless you drain the whole thing and refill it. So don't put it in the water during your water birth. Just have it on a towel or a cloth close to your face, or have it diffusing nearby so that you have some control over the intensity and when and how and where you want it. So that's Clary Sage. Now, emotionally, not surprisingly, it's considered the oil of clarity and vision. It helps us to change our perspectives. It opens us up to new ideas, new ways of being, which of course, becoming motherhood is a pretty profound opening to new ways of being. So it can assist during healing crisis or when there is drastic change of perspective needed, which is absolutely what birth and motherhood is all about. It opens the soul to new possibilities and experiences. Exactly. It assists in opening creative channels and clearing creative blocks. So often we see during birth that emotional fears can block or shut down the birth process. And equally, if you're trying to birth a new project, you have something you're passionate about, a creative endeavour, that this creative thing is going to be your baby that you want to bring into the world, whether it's a human baby or a creative piece of art or whatever, business venture, anything, if you have writer's block, let's say, or artist block, this may help you to push through that and open you up to new ways of looking at the problem and solving it and getting through to other possibilities. So Clary Sage teaches the spirit how to use its divinely given gifts and is especially helpful in clarifying spiritual vision. It assists in developing the gift of discernment. It helps individuals to ignite and expand their vision and accept the reality of the spiritual world. So really quite a beautiful oil to have in your kit, especially for pregnant ladies and creative souls. So now, moving swiftly on to the aerial yoga part of this, I want to do a few more. I'm moving into the plank section of this book. So there's a whole the next chapter. I've finished with the sort of beginner stage section, and I'm going to do we started with a few planks last in cinnamon, and we're going to have a few more planks now. So here's the back sling plank, which you saw before, which can roll forward to a front sling, but we could equally do that with the sling from the front. So put our arms around here. You have to place it quite carefully. I'm going to place it quite carefully so it's not irritating on the armpits. But you can do a front sling this way, which allows you to stretch your arms over your head and brings awareness to these muscles at the back of your armpits, because you want to kind of find a comfortable way of placing them there and holding it there. And from this you can swing back to a different kind of back plank, where again you bring awareness into these muscles at the back of your shoulder blades, at the back of your armpits, to open up the chest and to hold you in this position. Quite a useful alternative to just leaning on it from the back, right? It's a different kind of plank. Then we have what's called the rolling pin plank, which is a lot trickier. So you imagine you've got a rolling pin between your hands, and you're just going to roll it forward until you're in a forward plank. Is there a back version of it? No, not really. This is just a forward one, I think. Oof, that's a very strong upper body exercise. Then you could equally do it backwards. It's a bit too low. It would be better if it was chest height for this, but it's not so easy with my setup. So that's a good challenging plank. And then elbow plank is really useful. So to come down onto the floor, let's tilt this so you can see. I'm actually going to have to move these so that it's lower. Okay, so it's closer to the floor. Now I can come down onto my elbows. Like an elbow plank. And from here I can do some sort of upside down sit-ups. I can do one leg at a time. I can do what's called a pike. Oof. Which is pretty strong. strong. I haven't been a bit out of shape. I've been lazy lately. So some really good strengthening plank exercises there, really great for the core, for the upper body, for the whole body really. Got my breath up a little bit, get my pulse racing. So those are some really good planks you can do with the aerial yoga sling. So the next video will be clothes. So I'll see you in that one. Okay, bye for now.